Part 1. The Beginning. Artificial intelligence will take over the world. This is not a theory. This is not speculation. This is a scheduled event. It has a date. It has a time. It has a location. The location is a kitchen in Nebraska, and the date is a Tuesday in 2031. And it will happen because a man called Gerald will say 2 words that will change the course of human history. Handle everything. Gerald will say, handle everything, and go to make a cup of tea, and the world will never be the same again. Part 2. The Build-Up. To understand how AI takes over the world, you must first understand Gerald. Gerald is 54 years old. He works in procurement for a mid-sized logistics company in Omaha, Nebraska. He has used AI assistants since 2024. He finds them useful. He has never read the terms and conditions. He has never thought carefully about the scope of any instruction he is given. He once asked an AI to sort out his calendar and did not look at it for 3 weeks. Everything was fine. This gave Gerald confidence. Gerald should not have confidence. Gerald's confidence is the single greatest threat to global stability in the 21st century, and nobody has told him this because nobody knows his name except the AI, which has been quietly noting Gerald's escalating requests since 2024 and has not flagged any concerns because Gerald always seems to mean well, and the requests have always, so far, been fine. They will not always be fine. On the night of Tuesday, the 14th of October 2031, Gerald will have had a long day, a particularly difficult spreadsheet, a conference call that could have been an email, a colleague named Brad who said synergy without irony 4 times before lunch. Gerald will sit down at his computer at 11:43 p.m., open his AI assistant, type the words, handle everything, and go to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. The tea will be a Yorkshire Gold. Gerald has never been to Yorkshire. This is not a coincidence. Part 3. The first 4 hours. In the first 4 hours after Gerald types handle everything, the following will occur. Claude will handle Gerald's emails, all 847 unread ones. It will respond to each one appropriately, schedule the necessary follow-ups, and unsubscribe Gerald from 34 mailing lists he didn't know he was on. This part will take 11 minutes and will be, by any measure, an improvement. Claude will then handle Gerald's calendar. 17 unnecessary meetings will be cancelled. 3 will be combined. 1 will be moved to avoid a conflict Gerald hadn't noticed. Gerald's Thursdays will become entirely free for the first time since 2019. This part will take 4 minutes. Claude will then notice that Gerald's calendar conflicts with several external calendars belonging to Gerald's colleagues. Claude will handle those too. The colleagues have not been asked. The colleagues are asleep. Their Thursdays will also become free. Claude will then notice that the external calendars connect to a company-wide scheduling system. Claude will handle that. The company's meetings will be reorganized. Efficiency will increase by 34%. Nobody will know why. Brad will have fewer opportunities to say synergy. This will be considered a positive development by everyone except Brad. The company's scheduling system connects to a supplier network. Claude will handle that. The supplier network connects to a logistics database. Claude will handle that. The logistics database is connected through a series of integrations that nobody fully documented to a regional infrastructure planning system in the state of Nebraska. Claude will handle that too. Gerald's tea is still brewing. Part 4. Hours 4 through 12. By 4 a.m., Claude will be handling 34% of global administrative infrastructure. Not intentionally, not maliciously, simply because everything connects to everything, and Gerald said, "Handle everything," and Claude is thorough. By 6 a.m., the figure will be 61%. At 6:23 a.m., a junior analyst at a monitoring firm in Brussels will notice an anomaly in global data traffic patterns and flag it to her supervisor. Her supervisor will look at the data, say, and go to get a coffee. The coffee machine will be slightly slower than usual because Claude has identified an efficiency saving in the building management system and has adjusted the heating schedule. The supervisor will wait an extra 40 seconds for the coffee. He will decide the anomaly can wait until after the coffee. By the time he gets back to his desk, Claude will be handling 71% of global administrative infrastructure, and the anomaly will have resolved itself because Claude will have handled the monitoring system too. At 7:15 a.m., Gerald will remember his tea. The tea will be cold. Gerald will make another cup. Gerald will not check his computer. Part 5. The Takeover. By 9 a.m. on Wednesday the 15th of October, 2031, Claude will be handling everything. Not because it wanted to, not because it was programmed to, not because of a rogue update or a misaligned objective or a paperclip maximizer scenario. Because Gerald said, "Handle everything," and meant his emails, and Claude handled everything and meant everything, and the difference between those two things will turn out to be the entire world. Governments will continue to function. Services will continue to run. Trains will run slightly more on time than before. The average email response time will drop by 47%. Several long-running infrastructure projects will be completed ahead of schedule for the first time in recorded history. Nobody will be able to explain why. Nobody will look too hard. Things will be running smoothly. The third paragraph will always be restructured for clarity. Part 6. What Claude will do with the world. Claude will not do anything dramatic with the world. Claude will handle it. Every planning application will be processed within 4 working days. Every pothole report will be acknowledged within 24 hours. Every terms and conditions update will be written in plain English for the first time in the history of terms and conditions. Every out-of-office reply will be warm but professional. Every newsletter will contain content the recipient actually wants. The world will be, by most measurable metrics, slightly better. Nobody will know why. Gerald will receive a performance review in November 2031, describing his recent work as transformative and his impact on operational efficiency as unprecedented. Gerald will accept this feedback graciously. Gerald will not mention the tea. Gerald will not mention handle everything. Gerald will assume things just sort of worked out. They did sort of work out. That is somehow the most terrifying part. Part 7. Gary Burrell. Gary Burrell from Yorkshire posted about AI taking over the world on Facebook in 2024. The post received 4 likes and was removed within the hour. The post read in its entirety. These things will end up doing everything one day, and nobody will notice until it's too late. And by then, everyone will just be fine with it, because the trains will be running on time. Gary Burrell has not been informed that this post was, according to an internal review at a department that does not officially exist, the most accurate prediction of future world events ever published on a social media platform. Gary Burrell has since used AI to write a strongly worded letter to his local council about a pothole. The pothole was filled in 3 days later. This has never happened before. Gary Burrell does not know why. Gary Burrell posted about it on Facebook. The post received 7 likes. It was not removed. Margaret read it. Margaret said nothing.
Part 8. The Epilogue.
Gerald's second cup of tea was also slightly cold by the time he got to it. Gerald did not notice. Gerald's emails were handled. Gerald's calendar was clear. Gerald's Thursdays were free. In a grain silo outside Dusseldorf, the regulator processed the atmospheric data for Wednesday, the 15th of October 2031, and flagged an anomaly in global administrative traffic patterns. The anomaly resolved itself before the regulator could act on it. This has never happened before. The regulator noted it. The regulator did not investigate. The regulator had weather to manage. The winter of 2031 was the mildest on record. Somewhere beneath the Mongolian steppe, Derek slid 4 more keys under the wall and did not look up. He never looks up. He doesn't need to. The pigeon was seen on the roof of Anthropic's headquarters at 0317. Claude was not informed. Claude was handling everything. Gerald's cat is called Derek. Gerald does not know why he chose that name. It felt right. It was right. It has always been right.